Hello and welcome to our daily news roundup here on Atlantic TV. I am Nkechi Tejure. Here are our top stories. Federal government raises safety concerns over solar panel installations. Kano governor welcomes Ibrahim Shekarau back to APC. Air Peace, Turkish Airlines seal connectivity pact. Oil prices surge amid uncertain signals over US-Iran peace talks. Wale Edun convenes emergency meeting over NBF-NBBFC crisis. Now to the news in full. The Benue State Police Command has arrested 7 suspected militia headsmen in connection with the abduction of passengers from an 18-seater Benue Links bus along the Makurdi-Otukpo Highway. The victims, including candidates of the Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board en route to an examination center, have all been rescued following a coordinated operation involving multiple security agencies. Police say the victims were freed after sustained pressure on the kidnappers, with several suspects now in custody and some of the rescued passengers identifying those allegedly involved in the crime. Governor Hyacinth Alia, who received the victims in Makurdi, welcomed their safe return, condemned the incident, and urged authorities to consider rescheduling examinations for affected students while assuring them of government support. The federal government, through the Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency, has raised concerns over rising fire incidents linked to poorly installed rooftop solar systems nationwide. The agency said many incidents were caused by substandard materials, poor workmanship, and failure to follow technical standards, despite increased adoption of solar due to unreliable power supply. It has issued new safety guidelines under the Electricity Act 2023, directing that only certified installers handle solar PV systems with proper load assessment, approved materials, and safety devices. NEMSA warned that strict compliance is essential, stressing that poor installation and maintenance could lead to fire risks, system damage, and serious safety hazards. Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf has welcomed former Governor and Senator Ibrahim Shekarau to the All Progressives Congress, describing his return as a major boost to the party's strength in the state. In a statement issued by his chief press secretary, Mustafa Mohammed, the governor said Shekarau's defection would further consolidate the party's structure and influence ahead of future elections. He added that a date would soon be announced for a formal reception in collaboration with the party's national leadership. Governor Yusuf noted that the APC continues to gain support across Kano, positioning itself as a dominant political force ready to win upcoming elections, while assuring members of efforts to strengthen unity and grassroots mobilization. Meanwhile, Shekarau confirmed his resignation from the People's Democratic Party in a letter dated April 19, 2026, saying the decision followed wide consultations and marks a new phase in his political journey. The National Working Committee of the All Progressives Grand Alliance has released its provisional timetable for the 2026 primary elections ahead of the 2027 general elections. In a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Ejimofor Okpara, the party said all primaries will hold on the 23rd of May 2026 using the option A4 system, with appeals scheduled for May 28. APGA announced that the expression of interest forms will cost 25 million naira for president, 6 million naira for Senate, 4 million naira for House of Representatives, 10 million naira for governorship, and 2 million naira for State Assembly, while nomination forms range from 6 million naira to 50 million naira, depending on the office. The party added that sale of forms will run from April 20th to May 8th, with screenings fixed for May 11th to 13th, in line with the timetable of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Turkish Airlines and Air Peace have signed a bilateral special pro-rate agreement aimed at boosting connectivity between Nigeria, Africa, and global destinations. According to Air Peace spokesperson Efe Osifo Whiskey, the partnership will allow passengers to travel on the single ticket, enjoy coordinated flight schedules, and benefit from seamless baggage handling across both airlines on selected routes. Under the agreement, Turkish Airlines passengers arriving in Lagos can connect to Airpeace domestic and regional network, while Airpeace passengers will access Turkish Airlines global routes via Istanbul, linking Europe, Asia, and the Middle East and the Americas. Officials from both airlines say the deal will enhance travel convenience, strengthen Nigeria's position as an aviation hub, and open up new opportunities for trade and tourism across West and Central Africa. Nigeria exported a total of 55.39 million barrels of crude oil in the first 2 months of 2026, according to data from the Central Bank of Nigeria, even as local refiners face supply challenges. Figures show that the country produced 81.94 million barrels within the period, leaving about 26.55 million barrels for domestic use, while the rest was shipped to international markets despite declining production levels in February. Meanwhile, the Dangote Petroleum Refinery continues to grapple with inadequate crude supply, forcing it to import feedstock to sustain operations, despite Nigeria's status as Africa's largest oil producer. Industry sources say the refinery has received far below its required volumes from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, raising concerns over supply gaps, rising costs, and the impact on fuel prices and domestic refining capacity. You're watching our daily news roundup here on Atlantic TV. We'll go on a short break. When we return, more news stories on the foreign scene and on sports. To stay tuned.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Welcome back. Now on the foreign scene, oil prices have surged following attacks on commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz and mixed signals of a possible renewed negotiations between the United States and Iran. Brent crude rose more than 7% in early Asian trading on Monday before easing slightly to around $94.69 per barrel as markets reacted to heightened tensions and uncertainty over diplomacy. The spike followed reports of attacks on ships in the strait, including gunfire from Iranian vessels and a suspected projectile strike on a container ship, alongside claims by US President Donald Trump of action against an Iranian-flagged vessel. Despite earlier indications of possible talks, Iran has signaled it may not attend renewed negotiations, while concerns over disruptions in the key oil shipping route continue to drive volatility in global energy markets. Kim Jong-un has overseen a ballistic missile test involving warheads fitted with cluster munitions and fragmentation mines, according to North Korea's state media KCNA. The report said 5 upgraded short-range Hwasong-11RA missiles were launched to assess the performance of the new tactical warheads. It marked the 4th missile test this month and the 7th this year. The missiles were fired towards a target area about 136 kilometers away, striking a designated zone with high-density impact, while Pyongyang said demonstrated improved precision and strike capability. KCNA said Kim expressed satisfaction with the results and urged further development of missile technology, while images showed him observing the launch alongside his daughter, Kim Ye-e, and senior military officials. And now on sports news. The president of the Nigerian Boxing Federation, who is also Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, has summoned an emergency board meeting in Abuja to address the ongoing disputes with the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control. The intervention comes amid a 3-month crisis over regulatory control of boxing in Nigeria, with the NBF and NBBFC at odds over proposed structural reforms in the sport. Sources say Edun is seeking to resolve the disagreement, with the NBF expected to first meet internally before engaging the NBBFC and other stakeholders to restore stability. The dispute centers on the NBF's plan to establish a professional boxing commission, a move rejected by the NBBFC, even as stakeholders continue to call for urgent intervention to resolve the leadership tussle. Pep Guardiola says Manchester City's 2-1 win over Arsenal has only given them hope in the Premier League title race. City are 3 points behind the leaders but have a game in hand that could take them top if they beat Burnley on Wednesday. Arsenal have now lost their last 4 matches in all competitions, including last month's League Cup final to City, while the title race remains tightly balanced. Erling Haaland scored the winner after Ryan Cherki's early strike, with Arsenal also missing key chances in a closely fought game. Guardiola also praised Bernardo Silva, describing him as a legend after the midfielder confirmed he will leave the club at the end of the season following 9 years at the Etihad Stadium. And with that sports news, we come to the end of our daily news roundup here on Atlantic TV. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms for more news stories and headline updates. Thank you for watching. I am Nkechi Tejere. Have a good day.